Hi, and welcome to the Week 14 preview, this playoff special. First off, we normally get into like power rankings and stuff, but we're going to take a moment here and we're going to have an official moment of silence for those teams that did not make the playoffs, especially the OG Cormier who came so close. So if you would join us with this, we'll begin. All right, moment's over. Moving on. All right, so we got two matchups that are playoffs and two matchups in the bitch bracket. And they are 2 week-long matches. We are giving our edge and our intake for this particular week for those matchups. And we're going to get right into it.
Absolutely.
You want to start with the playoff teams or the bitch bracket?
Let's go ahead and start with the bitch bracket. Just get them out of the way.
All right.
One of you bitches is going to shave their head, and we're going to go over, basically give you an idea of who that's going to be. The first matchup we have is the OG Cormier and the Trap Lords. I think we were both in agreement that that's an easier win for the OG Cormiers. That one is, if you're going to bet on the bitch bracket, bet on that one. Second game, we got Lobachek versus Matt Moran. Go ahead and your prediction.
Yeah, I'm thinking Lobachek. The numbers don't look right on ESPN.
I agree.
I'm going to just say it. Lobachek's got the edge on this one. Unless Matt Moran tweaks some shit, changes some shit, I got to give it to my boy. At least on this half of the week, this matchup right now.
Lobachek's team has been shaky all year, but they do have some star players.
And he
got
did
Brady,
get a third win.
They do have,
Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch as well. So they could be good this week, and could take the first half of their matchup.
I agree. All right, moving on to the playoff bracket. We got a couple matchups, and we're split. First one is the Bionic Military Grade Porpoises, my boy, my cousin, versus Team Dope Rage. And I give my cousin the advantage in this one for this half of the match. Kevin?
I've got Wes and Dope Rage for the first half.
And we're going to agree to disagree. And likewise with our matchup of the Dunedin Devils versus the Clearwater Dolphin Tails 2, I pick myself.
Clearly, and I clearly pick myself.
All right, we'll let history write itself here.
Absolutely.
We're going to break down each of these crucial playoff matchups for this particular week. Remember, it's a 2-week battle, so for this week 14 of this battle, we're going to break down each team and give a key to the game and wrap it up with a conclusion. And apparently my battle camp is good to go.
Battle camp. We advertised it previously. It's raw. Check it out.
Which reminds us of our sponsors of this week. We are sponsored by El Monterey Breakfast Burritos. These are egg, cheese, and bacon.
Absolutely.
They are
delicious.
perfect for a post-podcast snack. Breakfast
snack.
Breakfast any time of the day. Frozen, ready to go in 5 minutes or less. Quality that shows.
And it grows.
It makes you shit.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna break down the Dope Rage versus Porpoises matchup on a quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, and then kicker, special teams, and let's see it. Lay it all out.
Put them all categories. We'll give edges to both teams. Let's go for it.
All right, you wanna break down the matchups with the quarterback?
All right, for the quarterback position, we got Aaron Rodgers going against Tony Romo. Rodgers for Dope Rage, and Porpoises have Romo. I think there's a clear edge for Rodgers. He's been one of the top quarterbacks all year round. Romo's been shaky certain weeks. He has done well and has done poorly, so it's going to be all up to what he does this week, but I think the edge has to go to Rodgers.
All right, and then for running backs, we got Jamal Charles and Alfred Morris for the Porpoises, and DeMarco Murray and Foster for Dope Rage, and there's a slight edge. We both agree that the edge goes to Dope Rage on this one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wide receiver, on the other hand, we got T.Y. Hilton, and we got Hopkins for...
Thomas.
Oh, sorry, Demaryius Thomas. Pardon me. Demaryius Thomas for the Porpoises, and we got Randall Cobb and Odell Beckham Jr. at the wide receiver for Dope Rage. We both gave the edge to the Porpoises on this one. We think that the matchups are favorable. T.Y. Hilton and Demaryius Thomas, they put up the numbers. We don't think that Beckham or Cobb's going to come close. especially with Jordy Nelson cutting into Cobb's action a little bit.
Well, I think it could end up being close, but I think there's a slight edge.
On paper.
Yeah.
Tight end and flex combo, real quick. We give the edge to the Porpoises because he's got Hopkins and Gronk versus Eddie Lacy and Jordan Reed for Dope Rage.
Jordan Reed's just a weak point. Gronk is a star. Lacy's pretty good, but
Hopkins is on the uptick.
Yeah, they can't match up. I don't think against Gronk. He's too good. So Porpoises for that one.
You want to take
for
the kicker?
Yeah, the kicker and defense. We're gonna go ahead and start with the defense in this one. We got San Fran going against Oakland for the Porpoises, and we got Philly going against Seattle for Dope Rage, and that's where we kind of get the slight edge for the Porpoises. We both agreed on that one. We figure the kickers are pretty much even. They got Vinatieri and Parkey, who both have pretty solid seasons so far. They're good kickers. But
the numbers are a little wishy-washy on that online. Like it's like some absurd low number for Vinatieri and some absurd high number for Parkey. But we pretty much give the advantage at the defense level.
Yeah, because Oakland's been one of the shittiest offenses all year long. So San Francisco should have a good day against them.
That's just an Oakland thing, though. You know, I mean, they're used to that shit. Like whether it's baseball, football, whatever.
So we're going to go into the key to the game, and you want to go ahead and tell us what that is?
Yeah, basically it's going to come down to the quarterback and the running back slot of the Porpoises. If he can compete, if he can put up numbers, if they're going to get there, it's going to be through the efforts of those positions.
Yeah,
because
that's where he's got his biggest weaknesses.
Well, that's not really his biggest weakness. That's where Dope Rage
the
is
biggest
biggest
separation.
Strength.
Yes, biggest separation because at the quarterback position is probably the biggest, and then second at running back because Morris really doesn't stack up with Murray or Foster. So I think that is the matchup that we're going to count on to decide this one. So we're going to go ahead and go into the next one.
Yep, that's our matchup, and we both have strong feelings about our chances and where we stand, but we're going to try to do this calmly anyway. We're going to start off with the quarterback position, and it's Manning versus Luck. Basically, it's a great matchup. You know what I mean? Like two all-stars in this league at quarterback, and they're on fire this year. Both of them are. And Luck has had more numbers, and that's why I'm going to give him the edge in this matchup.
I've got Manning for a slight edge. No real reason really, except I kind of favor his matchup a little bit more. I don't think the matchups are as important with those two quarterbacks, but I think when it comes down to it, the Buffalo's defense is a little bit worse than Cleveland's. So I think Manning has a slight edge there. So we agree to disagree on the quarterbacks.
We agree, actually, on this. I have C.J. Anderson and Giovanni Bernard, and Gio was hurt, and C.J. Anderson just came on the scene, so it's hard to predict with that. And I understand running back was my weak point this season, really. The biggest weak point, the biggest red flag for me. And, I can admit when I can use a little more help or when I won't make it. And I don't think I'm going to have the advantage versus Forte and McCoy.
Yeah, Forte's just been an animal. McCoy took a while to catch on, but he is a really talented player. And as much as it pains me to say it because I hate him, he is really, really good, and I knew it would just take a little bit of time for him to kind of turn on, and he's done that in the past few weeks.
I don't know how productive he'll be. He's had his ups and downs, just like every player has, but like his downs have been really down, and they seem like he was, out. Like it got bad for a while. So if McCoy can put up good numbers this week, I think that he'll walk away with the advantage in that. But you never know. It's football. You can't predict it. You can try to calculate it, but at the end of the day,
we're going to go ahead on to what I believe to be, as a matchup, the best four receivers combined that we could have in one matchup. Really is pretty special. I've got Dez Bryant and A.J. Green, and Alex Bennett has Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders. So it's pretty strong.
Those are all tier
even.
One.
It's all dependent on the game, but they all have really, really high ceilings, and they're all consistently scoring high points. So we know that they're not going to put up duds. They're going to put up points, and it should be really interesting at wide receiver. So we both actually have that as a wash.
Yeah, that's a push. That's a complete push.
We got that even.
Moving on to tight end flex combo. I got Gates. He's got Graham. I got Alshon Jeffrey. He's got Matthews. It's going to be interesting, to say the least. I don't think Matthews can keep up with Jeffrey, and I think that Gates is at a slight disadvantage to Jimmy Graham, although New Orleans' offense has been unpredictable, and it's hard to say if he'll get the numbers, but we're basically giving a slight edge to me on this one.
We both agreed on it.
Just because the flex position is so crucial.
I think that there is a slight edge you have to give to Jimmy Graham over Gates, but I think the edge that you give Jeffrey over Matthews is just way bigger. I think Matthews can score a lot of points, and I think Jeffrey, could have an off day, but at this point we got to put a slight edge to Bennett in that category.
Moving on to the kicker and the defense, we got Hushka kicking versus Sturgis kicking for Kevin over here. That's pretty much a push. And then Houston for myself going against the Jacksonville Jaguars. That'll be a good matchup for me. And then this guy just picked up Denver going against Buffalo. So we're just going to call that a wash, and that's a push right there. And it's looking pretty even.
Yep, and we've picked ourselves, as you know that we would. And key to this game, we're looking at the tight end flex category. Like we said before, that's a big deal. If Graham can put up a lot of points, if Matthews can keep consistent with Jeffrey, and on the other side of the coin, can Gates have another big game, or is he going to have another low game? Because with Gates, it's been pretty inconsistent. Jeffrey's been pretty damn good, so we can expect him to be that way this week. But
it's the two crucial positions, the flex and the tight end. Everyone else on both our teams, quarterbacks, wide receivers, even running backs, they put up numbers.
And they're all pretty even.
They're all either tier 1 or tier 2.
This is the place where there's a biggest gap on both sides. So this is what it's going to come down to, I think.
And the fact that we can agree on that is nothing short of a miracle. But this is only half. This is only half the battle. These matchups. It's a 2-week thing.
As well.
So we're gonna do this all over again for the same people. Just what lineup difference, what the matchups are, and it's gonna come down to a 2-week showdown for who is in the championship and who's in an irrelevant game.
Yeah, which is cool if you think about it, because both of the playoff matches this week, the winner will win at least $50. So at this point, we are playing for money, those of us that are in the playoffs, and some of us are going to get it, some of us aren't.
I will be collecting money from everybody in the coming week or so. I'm going to reach out to Eric, Jason, my cousin. Kevin is going to reach out to his brother and take care of that. I'll take care of Wes and Matt as well. So if I come at you boys for some guap, I just need $25. And it'll be held in the Bank of Jesse until the league winner is decided and crowned. That's all we got for you. Watch some football, have some fun out there, and good luck to all your teams. And this is playoffs. This is what it's all about. Coming down to that big prize pot at the end. All the hard work, all the trades, all the numbers.
Real. Our nuts are out on the table.
Who's got the bigger dick at the end of the day? Well, we'll have to wait about a month, but we'll see.
Sports Network.
Popping off and signing off.